Global cruise travel is about to hit 39 million passengers in 2026, a record high. But at the same time, FBI data shows something far more alarming. 91 criminal incidents on U.S.-flagged ships in the first half of 2025 alone, on pace to nearly double the numbers from just a few years ago. And the most shocking part is this. Some of the most dangerous cruise mistakes passengers keep making are completely avoidable. One of them, mistake number 1 on this list, is legal, extremely common, and almost guaranteed to put families at risk in 2026. So here are 15 dangerous cruise mistakes in 2026. Stay until the end for the final reveal. It is a legal mistake millions make without realizing the consequences. 15. Neglecting vaccinations and sanitization. The countdown begins with something passengers often overlook because it feels too simple. In 2025 alone, nearly 40% of cruise outbreak reports, including flu and COVID clusters, involve passengers who skipped basic vaccinations or relaxed on hand hygiene. Ships may feel clean, they may smell clean, but norovirus, flu strains, and respiratory infections spread faster at sea than on land. Air filtration systems on modern cruise ships have improved, with new purifiers cutting cases by 25%. Yet the challenge is not only the air, it is the crowds, buffets, elevators, packed theaters, hundreds of hands on the same railings. Avoiding this mistake means updating vaccinations at least 4 weeks before sailing, carrying sanitizer, and treating every door handle as a potential germ hotspot. And while this seems simple, it sets the stage for a much bigger threat passengers face the moment they step off the ship. Something that happens in ports hundreds of times a year. A mistake that becomes number 14. 14. Mismatching the ship to your travel style. Picture this, a couple searching for relaxation books, a sailing known for late-night deck parties. Or a group of college friends expecting high-energy mistakenly boards, a serene, slow-paced voyage designed for seniors. This mismatch is responsible for almost 25% of cruise complaints in 2025. The wrong ship can turn a dream vacation into something loud, exhausting, frustrating, or just boring. Cruise lines have tried to fix this with new AI matching tools across booking sites, and solo cabins are increasing by nearly 30% for 2026. Still, booking the wrong vibe is one of the most common mistakes. Passengers often discover the truth only after boarding. By then, frustration is guaranteed. But the next mistake is much bigger and far more dangerous, especially for families. 13. Failing to supervise kids. Near balconies or pools, cruise ships feel safe. They look safe. But in 2025, 12% of reported onboard incidents involve children. Balcony slips, near drownings, and unsupervised play near railings were among the most common emergencies. Parents often assume crew members are watching. Many are. But not every second. New AI cameras on ships launching in 2026 can detect unsupervised movement, but machines do not replace responsible eyes. A simple rule solves this mistake. No child on a balcony without an adult, no swims without supervision, and no running around railings. Because the next mistake involves another place passengers assume is safe, yet causes injuries every year, a place nearly everyone visits. 12. Not checking weather or itinerary changes. Before the cruise, storm systems are no longer predictable. In fact, 18% of all sailings in 2025 were rerouted due to storms or rough conditions. Many passengers packed for sunshine but found themselves traveling through winds, waves, and rainstorms that changed everything. Missed ports, rough seas, closed decks, delays that rippled across entire itineraries. Climate volatility increased by 20%. Even LNG-powered ships cannot outrun weather. The solution is simple. Check the weather for every port. Sign up for alerts. Stay flexible. But what happens at those ports is even riskier. In fact, mistake number 11 is one of the biggest security gaps in cruising today. 11. Displaying valuables or ship IDs in ports. This mistake has grown significantly in recent years. The FBI recorded thefts exceeding $10,000 in multiple port cases during the first quarter of 2025 alone. Tourists carrying jewelry, expensive watches, or wearing visible ship ID tags attract attention instantly. Cruise passengers are some of the easiest targets for pickpockets in cities like Barcelona and Nassau, where theft rates rose 12%. Travelers unknowingly reveal their ship, cabin number, and return time. Criminals watch for exactly that. The solution is simple. Leave valuables in the cabin safe, carry small amounts of cash, hide the ship card, and blend in. Because being in the wrong area at the wrong time is dangerous enough already. And that brings the countdown to number 10, where the consequences are far more severe. 10. Overloading your schedule without downtime. It seems harmless. Cruise apps show dozens of activities every day. Passengers often want to do everything, but exhaustion is one of the most underestimated dangers at sea. In 2025, 35% of onboard medical visits were linked to fatigue. Overworked, dehydrated, sunburned passengers make simple mistakes, including falls, dehydration cases, and missed safety alerts. Wellness voyages grew by 40% for a reason. Passengers are burned out, even on vacation. Setting a calm pace is the antidote. 1 or 2 big activities a day, sunrise coffee, early rest. Because the next mistake in the countdown is one passengers rarely think about, yet it leads to real injuries every year. 9. Ignoring poolside glassware bans. This one surprises many people. Glass near pools is strictly banned on most ships for a reason. When a single piece breaks on a wet deck, sliding feet and rushing water create a perfect setup for cuts, slips, and serious injuries. In 2025, 7% of deck injuries were caused by glass-related accidents, even though most cruise lines now use AI monitoring to enforce bans. Passengers carrying wine glasses or cocktails from bars to pool areas sometimes ignore the rules. Injuries follow. Plastic cups solve the problem. So does listening to crew instructions. 8. Packing banned surge protectors or lithium devices. Cruise ships treat fire risks with extreme caution. In 2025 alone, more than 50 prohibited power devices were confiscated, and fines up to $500 became common. Surge protectors, e-bike batteries, and unapproved lithium devices can overheat or short-circuit. Many passengers have no idea these items violate policy until they are taken away. As bans expand, even more devices will be restricted in 2026. Ships are adding charging stations to reduce the risk, but the danger remains real. Because once the ship reaches a port, the dangers change completely. And that leads to number 7. A mistake that causes injuries, lawsuits, and tragedies every year. 7. Choosing unvetted shore excursions. The photos online make them look harmless. Scooter tours, ATV adventures, cheap snorkel offers from vendors standing right at the port gates. But in 2025, Roatan, Honduras alone saw 10 injury reports tied to unregulated excursions. These tours may lack insurance, trained staff, or even basic safety equipment. Ship-sponsored excursions cost more, but they come with liability protection and trained operators. After multiple post-2025 fatalities worldwide, new regulations require certifications for 70% of operators, but many unlicensed ones still operate outside port gates. Still, tourists often choose the cheapest option. And the consequences can be life-changing, because what you consume in port can be even more dangerous. 6. Eating street food or drinking untreated water. 19 norovirus outbreaks in 2025, more than 1,500 passengers sickened. One ship, the Eurodam, saw 170 cases in a single sailing. The majority of these outbreaks began not on the ship, but on land. Street food, tap water, ice cubes, unwashed fruit. A new norovirus strain, GII.17, caused a 30% spike in cases. Even the best ship sanitation cannot protect passengers once they eat from unregulated vendors. Only sealed bottled water. Only recommended restaurants. Hand washing like a habit. Because what passengers do to get the perfect social media photo can be even riskier. And that brings the countdown to the infamous number 5. 5. Posing on railings for social media photos. It looks harmless until it isn't. 19 people went overboard in 2024. Only 4 were rescued. Many cases involved risky photos, leaning too far, or climbing railings. The Viking Star incident in 2025 highlighted the danger of night hours, limited visibility, and unpredictable sea movement. Modern man-overboard detection systems, like those used by Ambassador Cruise Line, catch 98% of falls. But not all ships have them. Only about 40% will by the end of 2026. A tripod, a stable pose, or simply a safer angle prevents accidents. Because the next mistake is even more common, and it starts before the ship even leaves the port. 4. Ignoring new digital visa rules. ETIAS for the EU and ETA for the UK are becoming mandatory in 2026. Fees are low, only about €7, but the consequences of failing to apply are massive. In 2025 pilot programs, 25% of applications were denied due to errors, outdated passports, or missing information. More than 5,000 passengers missed sailings in 2025 because of digital visa issues alone. These systems use biometrics, AI scanning, and automatic flagging. If paperwork is wrong, the ship will not wait. Applications should be submitted at least 96 hours before travel, not a minute less. But while paperwork can stop a cruise before it starts, the next mistake can ruin a vacation while it is happening. And it involves something passengers trust far too easily. 3. Venturing alone in high risk. Ports. Many ports feel safe. Many are safe. But some areas in Nassau, Bahamas, and Cozumel, Mexico recorded 15 incidents each in 2025. Petty crime, assaults, and targeted tourist scams have increased. Labadee, Haiti remains paused until April 2026 because of unrest. Violence does not target tourists specifically, but tourists stand out. The simple fix is joining ship-sponsored excursions, using port alerts, and traveling in groups. Because the next mistake is so massive that it affects millions of passengers every year. And it has nothing to do with safety on land. 2. Flying to the port on embarkation day. This mistake ruins more vacations than any other travel error. In 2025, 6% of passengers missed their cruise because of weather delays, mechanical issues, or missed connections. Hurricane season delays rose 18%. Airports struggled, airlines struggled, passengers paid the price. Ships do not wait, not even for delayed flights. Arriving one day before solves everything. Booking flights after noon on return day prevents panic. But none of these mistakes compare to the final one. Because mistake number 1 is the most expensive, the most heartbreaking, and the most common error in cruising. 1. Skipping cruise-specific travel insurance. This is the final reveal. The mistake that costs families thousands of dollars every single year. Onboard medical emergencies cost an average of $15,000 or more. U.S. health insurance does not cover international waters. Evacuations can reach $100,000 or more. In 2025, Carnival recorded 12 assault-related cases requiring medical attention. Without insurance, passengers were responsible for every bill. The travel insurance market is exploding, expected to reach $2.5 billion by 2033 because more passengers are learning the truth the hard way. Policies covering medical evacuation, missed ports, cancellations, and interruptions are no longer optional. They are essential. Because the ocean is beautiful, but accidents do not care how excited someone is about their vacation. Before the final close, here's a question for the viewers. Which cruise mistake on this list surprised you the most? Share the number in the comments to help other travelers stay safe. Cruising in 2026 is safer, smarter, and more advanced than ever. Ships now use AI, upgraded medical protocols, improved sanitation, and stricter regulations. But avoiding these 15 mistakes is what separates a stressful cruise from a perfect one. If this guide helped, consider subscribing for more safety-focused travel insights. There is always another side of cruising no one talks about, and future videos will uncover every one of them. Safe travels, calm seas, and a stress-free voyage ahead.